Thank you very much, and it's a real pleasure to be interacting with you one day before the arrival of Honorable Prime Minister of India to Oman on a second visit. He had been here, as you all know, in the month of February 2018, and in between, His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq has been to India in December 2023. So let me have a readout statement first, whereafter I will take some questions. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi will pay an official visit to the Sultanate of Oman from 17th to 18th of December 2025. The Prime Minister will be accompanied by a high-level delegation. This will be Prime Minister's second visit to Oman, following his earlier visit in February 2018. The visit also follows the state visit of His Majesty the Sultan of Oman to India in December 2023. The forthcoming visit is particularly significant as it takes place during the year marking the 70th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between India and Oman. During His Majesty Sultan Haitham bin Tariq's state visit to India in December 23, the two leaders agreed on a forward-looking roadmap to further deepen bilateral ties. Several initiatives under the roadmap have already been implemented, while others are currently under execution. India and Oman share a special and long-standing partnership rooted in centuries-old historical contacts sustained by strong trade linkages and close people-to-people ties. In contemporary times, this relationship has evolved into a comprehensive strategic partnership marked by robust cooperation across a wide range of sectors. Political relations between India and Oman are excellent. Frequent exchanges at the highest levels, complemented by regular ministerial and official level interactions, reflect the depth and maturity of the bilateral relationship. As one of India's oldest strategic partners in the Gulf region, with the strategic partnership having been instituted by the two countries in the year 2008, Oman occupies a special place in India's foreign policy. The bilateral partnership spans diverse areas including trade and investment, maritime cooperation and connectivity, energy, security and green energy, agriculture and food security, health, defense and security, technology and culture. Trade and investment constitute key pillars of the India-Oman relationship. Bilateral trade for financial year 2024-2025 stood at $10.61 billion. Investment flows between the two countries have also been strong, with several joint ventures operating in both India and Oman. India-Oman joint ventures have made significant contributions to each other's development. Defense cooperation between India and Oman encompasses joint exercises, training programs, and regular exchanges of visits. In recent years, both countries have also worked closely to enhance maritime security in the Indian Ocean region. Oman is home to a vibrant Indian community of over 675,000 who consider Oman as their second home and have contributed meaningfully to the nation's development. This community serves as a living bridge between the two countries and plays a vital role in strengthening bilateral ties. During the visit, the Prime Minister will hold comprehensive discussions with His Majesty the Sultan of Oman, reviewing the entire spectrum of bilateral relationship and exchanging views on regional and international issues of mutual interest. The Prime Minister is also expected to address business leaders from both countries at a business forum and to interact with the Indian community in Oman. A number of bilateral documents are expected to be signed during the visit. These are currently under negotiation and preparation, and details regarding the agreements will be shared once they are concluded at an appropriate time during the visit. In conclusion, building upon the historic state visit of His Majesty the Sultan of Oman to India in 2023, the forthcoming visit of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi to Oman is expected to further consolidate the strategic partnership between the two countries. Taking place in the landmark year of 70th year of diplomatic relations, the visit will reinforce bilateral cooperation, open new avenues of engagement, and further strengthen the enduring bonds between the people of India and Oman. Thank you.
So if there are any questions, we can take one by one.
Congratulations, Your Excellency, and the entire team. Congratulations, Your Excellency, and the entire team for Indian diplomatic mission. My question is all about which are the what are the MOUs to be signed between these two countries, and will there be any light on SEPA? Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yesterday you mentioned that bilateral trade, and that's in the External Affairs Ministry brief document also, has moved up to 10.6 billion. This is a rebound from 8.8 billion in 2023-24. What accounts for this fact?
As the cooperation between the two countries continue, do you foresee something that would be fruitful in this forthcoming visit to further this relationship?
Okay, thank you very much. The three questions I take first, which are the MOUs to be signed during the visit. We are, as we speak, trying to put as many of the agreements as possible so that the already very rich relationship that the two countries have gets further supplemented. Visits of the nature of Honorable Prime Minister of India to Oman are occasions when the entire gamut of relationship is discussed, guidance is taken at the highest level for further strengthening the relationship. I am never tired of mentioning that India-Oman relationship is a very mature relationship based on 5,000 years of historical relations, hundreds of years of maritime relationship. If I mention here, Oman had already organized the voyage of the ship from here. It's commemorating 1,000 years of such history with Oman. Building on that, celebrating 1,500 years of such maritime adventure endeavors of India towards Oman. We will be shortly having what we call as a Stish ship arriving sometimes early January. So all in all, as you can see, that the relationship is very strong across over the years, and on top of that, the MOUs, series of them have been signed in the past. So it is as much a challenge for us to implement them to make sure that the relationship strengthens, to also add whatever is missing. So with that principle, we do have a number of agreements under discussion. Let me not unnecessarily prejudge till they are signed and shared with you. As to the one which is expected with much anticipation, a comprehensive economic partnership agreement, or as many call free trade agreement between India and Oman, that agreement also has been under discussion for the past 2 years. Both sides have gone through in a lot of detail about the respective areas of interest to each other. We are only hopeful that this agreement will be concluded at the earliest opportunity. Coming to the point which you so nicely asked about what contributed to the rising of the trade from $8.8 billion, $10.61 billion. I would say that this not necessarily is every sector for that matter. India imports a large number of products. Oman also exports predominantly oil and energy related products to India. Reverse trade also happens in the energy sector. So that dominance of the energy in the bilateral trade basket is already there. Just as Oman wishes to have in their economy the contributions of the other sector, so does we, India and Oman together, also want to add more and more beyond the energy sector to that. A number of projects which are being implemented in Oman by the Indian companies through their investments will also add to the new products coming into the town. So I do not want to add exactly what contributed to this rise of roughly under $2 billion of trade, because there is a lot to be done together, and we need to add each and every element that we can contribute for furthering our bilateral, not only trade but also investment relationship. India, as one of the biggest economies, $4 trillion as of now, has a lot to offer, including for Omani captains of industry to invest in the country. As we know, Oman is already looking at it, India. There have been benefits coming out of the India growth story to the Omani investors. More of that has to be scaled up. More investments both in the brown and green field have to be invited. Just as we also need to benefit, Indian captains industry are already aware of the very strategic location that Oman has, geopolitical, very near GCC, Middle East, also Africa. The eastern coast of Oman is close to western coast of India more than the western coast of India is to the eastern coast of India. That speaks how close we are. We are actually more than neighbors with water connecting us. So we'll build up on all those things to further strengthen our bilateral trade and economic relationship. What will be fruitful emerging from the visit? I already answered that question. We expect a lot. As Ambassador of India in Oman, wanting to promote relationship, I would be wanting to get the maximum from the blessings of the leaders from the two sides. Thank you.
नमस्कार, मेरा नाम नीरज है सर, दूरदर्शन से। हमको प्रधानमंत्री जो बिजनेस कम्युनिटी है प्रधानमंत्री जो बिजनेस कम्युनिटी है उनके साथ उनकी बैठक होने वाली है, मुलाकात होगी। कौन कौन लोग हैं जो मिलेंगे और इसके साथ निवेश को लेकर क्या बात होगी? दूसरा सवाल है कि 2024-25 में जो दोनों देशों के बीच कारोबार है 10.6 बिलियन अमेरिकी डॉलर है। अगर FTA पर समझौता होता है तो ये व्यापार कितना आगे तक जा सकता है?
चूंकि प्रश्न हिंदी में हुआ तो हिंदी में जवाब देने का मैं प्रयास करूंगा, हिंदी में जवाब दूंगा। पहला भाग था यहां पर कि बिजनेस कम्युनिटी क्या क्या एंगेजमेंट प्रधानमंत्री जी के यहां पर जब आएंगे तब होंगे। तो इसमें यहां की प्रोटोकॉल के द्वारा एक बहुत ही बढ़िया प्रोग्राम बनाया जा रहा है। सबको ज्ञात होगा कि आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री यहां पर 24 घंटे से भी कम के अंतराल में यहां पर रहेंगे। उस दौरान भी पूरा पैक्ड प्रोग्राम बनाया गया है। उम्मीद है कि वो बिजनेस कम्युनिटी से मिलेंगे, उनके साथ में उनका संदेश भी देंगे अपनी तरफ से। भारतीय कम्युनिटी जो यहां पर 6,75,000 है, 675,000, और यहां पर ध्यान रहे कि हमारे जो CBSE जो सेंट्रल बोर्ड ऑफ सेकेंडरी एजुकेशन जो भारत का प्राइम फ्लैगशिप एजुकेशन सिस्टम है, उसका एग्जिस्टेंस यहां पर 50 साल से है। तो उसके सेलिब्रेशन में बच्चों से शायद संपर्क भी प्रधानमंत्री जी का होगा और कम्युनिटी के साथ में तो होगा ही होगा। और यहां आ रहे हैं तो सुल्तान साहब के साथ में उनकी मुलाकात और डेलीगेशन लेवल पर, 1-on-1 लेवल पर, ये सारी चीजें उनके प्रोग्राम में निहित हैं। जहां तक आपने ये पूछा कि इन्वेस्टमेंट 24-25 ट्रेड की बात आपने बताया कि 10.6 बिलियन डॉलर अगर सेपा साइन होता है तो कहां तक जा सकता है, कितना आगे बढ़ सकता है। सेपा कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इकोनॉमिक पार्टनरशिप एग्रीमेंट जो हम लोगों ने नेगोशिएट किया हुआ है, जिसकी उम्मीद है कि हम जल्द ही जल्द साइन कर पाएंगे, तो उसका तो उम्मीद ही ये है कि ये कम से कम डबल ट्रिपल 5 साल के अंदर डबल की संभावना भी इसमें दिखती है। कारण ये है कि बहुत सारे क्षेत्र ऐसे हैं जो टैक्स से भी अपने आप को एनकरेज महसूस करते हैं, तो उस टाइप के प्रोडक्ट्स भी वहां जाएंगे। एक दूसरे का लोकेशनल एडवांटेज है। भारत की इकोनॉमी भी जैसे आप जानते हैं कि बड़ी तीव्र गति से आगे बढ़ रही है। भारत एक ऐसा देश है पूरे संसार में बिग इकोनॉमी जिसकी की जो ग्रोथ है सबसे मैक्सिमम है आज की तारीख में। तो ओमान के लोग भी प्रेरित होकर वहां पे इन्वेस्ट करेंगे। एक मैं नंबर तो नहीं देना चाहूंगा वहां पर, लेकिन जितना मैंने देखा हुआ उम्मीद है कि लगभग 5 साल में अगर दुगना हो जाए तो कोई आश्चर्य की बात नहीं होगी। धन्यवाद। इन्वेस्टमेंट जैसे आज की तारीख में जो मेरा खुद का मानना यह है कि उसको व्यापार से अलग करके नहीं देख सकते। आज की तारीख में जो निवेश होता है वो व्यापार से भी संबंधित होता है। पहले आप दूसरे से मिलते हैं, व्यापार करते हैं, कुछ सामान आता है, फिर लगता है कि भाई सामान वहां से लाने के लिए यही बना लो, तो उसके आधार पर निवेश होता है। फिर समझ में आता है कि भाई टेक्नोलॉजी मेरे पास में पड़ी पड़ी है। तो प्रधानमंत्री जी का जो मूल मंत्र है जिसको कहते हैं 5T, ट्रेड, टेक्नोलॉजी, टूरिज्म, टैलेंट एंड ट्रेडिशन, ये सबको लेके हमारे दूतावासों को, हमारे जैसे एम्बेसीज को आगे बढ़ना चाहिए। ये उनका मंत्र रहा हम लोगों के लिए, और इसका मैं देखता हूं कि डायरेक्ट रेलेवेंस जो है ओमान में बहुत ज्यादा है। हर एक क्षेत्र में ट्रेड के बारे में, इन्वेस्टमेंट के बारे में, यहाँ इन्वेस्टमेंट का स्पेसिफिक जिक्र नहीं होता है प्रधानमंत्री जब कहा 5T का। कारण यह है कि टेक्नोलॉजी जब आती है वो अपने आप में ऐसी नहीं आती, वो कोई इन्वेस्टमेंट के थ्रू आती है। या उल्टा भी कहा जाए तो इन्वेस्टमेंट तब होता है जब कोई कारण हो, टेक्नोलॉजी हो, नो हाउ है, करने का अंदाज हो। तो इस प्रकार से सारे क्षेत्रों में काम हो रहा है। जो 3 चीज को बताया था, टैलेंट, ट्रेडिशन और टूरिज्म की बात कर रहे हैं। अद्भुत देश है ओमान। भारत तो जानते ही कितना हिस्टोरिकल है। टूरिज्म में बहुत ज्यादा स्कोप है। मेडिकल टूरिज्म तो यहां से भारत की तरफ जाता ही है। रिवर्स में देखा जाए तो यहां पर डेस्टिनेशन और हाई एंड टूरिज्म का भी स्कोप काफी दिखता है। तो टूरिज्म में भी दोनों देश एक दूसरे से जो कि प्रायोरिटी एरिया है, दोनों के विजन को मैच करते हैं। हमारा डेवलप्ड एम्बिशन स्टेटस, इनका अपना विजन 2040 का स्टेटस, दोनों में सिनर्जी टूरिज्म में डायरेक्ट बनती है। टैलेंट की बात तो मैं जितना कहूं कम है यहां पर, क्योंकि भारत के यहां पे 6,75,000 लोग रहते हैं। यहां के बड़े बड़े अपने गवर्नमेंट में भी भारत अपना स्किल का प्रदर्शन करते हैं, चाहे ये ऑडिट हुआ, चाहे बैंक्स हुए, चाहे आपका सेंट्रल बैंक हुआ। तो हर जगह जहां जहां जरूरत पड़ती है वहां पे भारत का टैलेंट यहां पे मौजूद है, और हम उसका भी स्वागत करते हैं। वो भी हमारा उतना ही स्वागत करते हैं। ओमानी हमारे मित्र बोलते हुए थकते नहीं है कि भारत के लोग जो यहां पर हैं वो सारे यहां पर बड़े एक्टिवली और बड़ा पीसफुली कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं। तो उसी को आगे बढ़ाने की कोशिश होगी। धन्यवाद।
Sir, in recent times, India has become one of the biggest defense exporters to the entire world. Recently, we have heard that Oman is giving Jaguar spare parts to India. So is there any major defense agreement between going to happen between India and Oman?
डिफेंस का जहां तक सवाल है, मैंने पहले ही बताया कि सॉरी, एज पर डिफेंस रिलेशनशिप इज कंसर्न्ड, आई ऑलरेडी मेंशन दैट सिंस 2008 वी हैव अ स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप विद देम. We have close engagement at all services level, as we call joint exercises, at Army, Navy, Air Force, all of them. Coast Guards also interact with each other. These natural exercises, exposure to each other, creates curiosity and interest. And India, as you know, under Atmanirbhar, as we call in India, the flagship project of Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, is going and scaling up, speeding up towards creating this infrastructure of construction, manufacturing in every area, including in the defense area. And therefore, that exposure comes through the variety of areas, including this nature. What exactly will be of final interest to them, which one will they really look up to, whether these deals will go through, is in the same category as I don't want to prejudge beforehand. So you bear with me that count, but certainly this roughly 1,000 kilometers of distance between us is hardly any distance. It actually connects us. More of the ships from India travel. They provide maritime security to the entire region, which is of interest not only to India and Oman, but that matter also of interest to the countries around the region. So, इस प्रकार से we are going ahead with that, and every area, including in the defense cooperation, would want to collaborate with Oman. With that, I really appreciate you having taken time at this short notice. Really appreciate. Thank you very much. Oman has just announced the visit today at 11 o'clock. We had announced a couple of days ago, as just Honorable Prime Minister undertook his journey to 3-nation tour, beginning with, as we know, Jordan, then on the way to Ethiopia, then to come to Oman. The entire Indian community here is very strongly, eagerly